The secret, one task at a time, for parents and kids to flow in learning and work. Hello, amazing parents and super energetic kids. Today, I'm going to share with you an interesting story about something called multitasking, that thing we often brag about. Saying, I can handle a dozen things at once. But hold on a sec, is multitasking really as magical as we think? Let's dive into a secret trick together to make learning and working more fun and effective with the one task at a time approach. Multitasking, hero or villain? Picture this. You're cooking rice, texting friends, and sneaking in an episode of your favorite show. Meanwhile, your kid is doing homework, scrolling through their phone, with earbuds blasting music. Sound familiar? We often think multitasking is a superpower that saves time and lets us conquer the world in a day. But what's the truth? Scientists have told me that when we focus on one thing at a time, not only does productivity skyrocket, but both you and your kids will find everything way more enjoyable. Imagine this. Instead of eating while watching TV and not even tasting the food, you savor every bite. Suddenly, life feels like a feast. So today, I'll spill some simple tips to help your whole family kick the multitasking habit, boost efficiency, and still have a blast. The brain and multitasking, friends or foes? Have you ever wondered if your brain gets tired when it's juggling 3 or 4 things at once? I like to think of our brains as buddies. If you make them run a marathon while their eyes are darting to the phone, they'll get grumpy fast. Studies show that frequent multitaskers might think they're pros, but they're actually more prone to losing focus, lacking control, and getting distracted. Some even overestimate their abilities a bit. For example, you're on a Zoom call while replying to messages, and then you accidentally call your boss by the wrong name. Hilarious, right? Plus, science suspects that long-term multitasking might make the brain a bit dramatic, struggling to focus. But don't worry, I'm about to show you how to pamper your brain the right way. Teens and the multitasking storm. Watch out. Now, let's talk about teens, the warriors of multitasking in this modern age. I get it, they can study, play games, and chat with their crush all at once. But parents, this is where you need to pay attention. At this age, their brains are busy building a house, forming super important neural connections. If they're constantly distracted by phones, TVs, and music, that house might end up crooked, affecting their focus in the long run. I once caught my son doing math while watching TikTok. And guess what? 2 + 2 turned into 22. So, let's help our kids chill out a bit and focus a little more, so their brains can grow the right way. Media multitasking. To listen or not to listen? That's the question. Did you know there's a fancy type of multitasking called media multitasking? Sounds cool, right? People who often watch and listen at the same time are pretty good at catching vibes from both their eyes and ears. For instance, they can watch visuals and hear audio, picking up stuff faster than the rest of us. But there's a catch: if there's no sound to back them up, they flop. Performance drops compared to those who don't multitask like this. It's like dancing tango with a partner. You're smooth without one. You stumble. This shows that while this type of multitasking is slick for combining senses, it can also make us overly reliant on props. Breaking the multitasking habit. Let's try it together. Alright, here comes the fun part. If you feel like multitasking is turning your life, and your kids, into a tangled mess, let's smash it with some super easy tips I'm about to share. First, when you or your kid are spinning between 3 or 4 tasks, pause for a sec, take a deep breath, and ask, what's the most important thing right now? Then, focus on it like it's the star of the day. I've got a few ideas for the whole family. Start by limiting how many things you do at once. One is perfect. If you must multitask, pair in auto pilot task like folding laundry with something that needs focus, like listening to your kid tell a story. Next, try the 20-minute rule. Give a task your full attention for 20 minutes before switching, instead of hopping around non-stop. Also, batch similar tasks together, like setting aside a specific time to check emails or messages, so they don't interrupt your day. Oh, and find a quiet spot. Turn off the phone, and say bye to notifications to avoid distractions. Lastly, keep an eye on whether you're overloading yourself. Just being aware is already a huge step forward. Wrapping up, let's flow with every moment. See? Sometimes doing less but doing it well beats doing a ton and ending up frazzled. I believe that with these little tricks, your family can not only learn and work more effectively but also find joy in the smallest tasks. Give one task at a time a shot today, and let me know how it feels to flow. Wishing your family all the brightness and happiness of those happy family photos we all love. See you in the next fun story.